never met him, but I heard.
Yeah, Pulitzer Prize winner and all these awards. So I thought he'd be a good editor for me. My ego. So I go up to the Thalia, and there's one seat left, and of course it had my name on it because God wanted me to meet Norman. He was very colorful, and he spoke for about 2 hours, and he's number 7 here, down here, in the blue. And he was outrageous, is the only way to put it. People either loved him or hated him. They usually loved and hated him at the same time. So he said, if you want to come meet me in the back, come back. I'm signing autographs. So I thought, oh, now my father, who had been an efficiency expert in the bank and had sold insurance, used to go up to people's houses after they had a fire, the day after, and try to sell them fire insurance. And my mother said, Akta Liebeherb, how can you do that? You're embarrassing me. And I love my father for what's called his chutzpah. He was outrageous. So just like my father, when he went up to the house, I went up to Norman Mailer with a handwritten note. This is a Pulitzer Prize winner, saying that I'm inviting him for a cheeseburger the next day at the Lenox Hill. You know, he showed up.
Oh, really?
He showed up. You're wonderful. You have my code too. So I have my 500 pages on the side. I'm embarrassed to show it to him. And he said, let me see it. And he opened it. You know what he did? He didn't open it in the beginning. He said, you never read a book from the beginning. You open it to where God wants it to open up. So he did that, and he read it, and he liked it. And when he left, then he kissed me on the lips. I thought, uh-oh, it's not what I had in mind. I was looking for a mentor. Yeah, look at her smile. So he said, I'll be coming to LA to promote my book. Maybe we'll meet. So from that January to the following June, he called me once a week in California. And I taped the phone calls. They were writing lessons. So anyway, he came to California, and he used to love to look at these pictures, you can imagine. And he'd look at it again, and then shortly thereafter, he came on to me sexually. We made love. And he said, my wife and I have an open relationship. He had 6 wives, 9 children, and had tried to stab the second in an alcoholic blackout. And I decided I was going to try to get him sober, which is ridiculous. So I failed. He died of kidney failure. He was surrounded by enablers. Who knows what an enabler is? Enabler is somebody who gives alcohol to an alcoholic. You give them alcohol and they'll do what you want. You control them with the substance. So one of his sons was sober, but you also can't save someone. It's very hard. I tried. I took him to AA meetings. Anyway, he taught me how to write, and I wrote 5 books, and I did like 15 interviews. And I loved him dearly. I still love him. But he ended it when I interviewed him with, who heard of Gore Vidal? You've heard of Gore Vidal? Yes. Well, Gore Vidal was a famous writer who was thrown out of the White House by Jackie Kennedy because he was drunk. So I asked both of them a question from the quiz. To what degree has alcohol wreaked havoc in your life? Well, that's the real zinger for an alcoholic. In other words, you can't hide from that. So Gore said, oh Lordy, whatever. And he said, I take beta blockers. I've quit drinking. He dodged the bullet. Whereas Norman Mailer said, I'd be dead of cancer if I weren't still drinking, which of course is what's called denial. You know what denial is? It's not a river that runs by Egypt. It's rationalizing that you don't have a problem. That was Norman saying he wasn't an alcoholic, when in fact I had confronted him about his disease. So he ended the relationship because what happened is I revealed him on the page. But I was heartbroken. On the other hand, the good news out of that catastrophe was I got to take care of my mother. My mother became my best friend. You have, where's that, is that back there, Chris, where my mother is